Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through some rare players this time instead of limited, so it's going to be a little different today. I will be choosing 3 from each position, so defender, midfielder and attacker, and I'm going to choose the best sort of value that you can pick in your teams today and get your rare journey up and running. And just before we get into the first teams and player guys, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe and hit that notification bell. So I've got Jose Quintero of the Ecuadorian League, and he plays for LDU Quito. He is £16.50 and he is 34 years of age. So this might be seen as a little steep for some players because in rare I know there's a lot of players that are £15 and lower who are quite decent, but for these sort of scores, you can't go too wrong. Now, please take in mind, I have taken off a couple of the DMPs and a couple of the sub appearances. You can see here, he is prone to a random DMP every now and again. So that is the only real sort of downside to this sort of player, as well as him being 34 years of age. But if we get rid of that just for now, you can see there he's hitting it 18 times. He's hit 60 plus scores in just 31 starts. So it's really solid. He's had 12 decisive actions also within those 31. So it's a goal every 3 games essentially, or a goal contribution I should say, every 3 games, and he's backing that up also with 19.1 worth of AA on average. Now LDU Quito are probably actually the best team in Ecuador as far as last season anyway, and so for £16.50 for a player I should say who plays for one of the best teams in that respective league, and he's hitting scores like this, I think you should really consider him. He will be more of a short-term option, and obviously remember guys to make sure to do your research I should say, for any of these players, because the transfer window is open. I'm not sure when it is for Ecuador. I'm not sure if he's retiring after the season, but make sure to do your own research when and where you can. So next up we have Ali Abdi here, the Tunisian who plays for Kane in the second tier of the French league, and at just £16 as well, I think is really solid value, and he's only 30, so he's got a good few more years left in my firmly believe. As you can see here, his scores, he hit 100 on 2 occasions last season. As you can see here, 8, 2, 4 and 3 in regards to hitting it above 60 plus scoring, so that's 17 in total, and he's backing up again with 12.3 worth of AA. But again, like Quintero, if we just get rid of his sub appearances, still 12.3, 9 goals and 2 assists with that last man tackle or clearance off the line in 35 appearances. Again, that's basically an appearance, a goal contribution or decisive action, one every 3 or 4 games. So I think for a player like this, for only just £16, I think again provides really good value. But let's jump into the next player. And in the last defensive slot, we're going to go for Andrea Marlo in the Serie B, playing for Sorare. Probably butchered that, but he is only in rare for £5.30 currently. Now again, he's got a contract here, it says till June 30th 2025, L5 of 66, really nice indeed. And again, he's putting up those really good scores, like I said, for only £5 as well, which is really solid and provides brilliant value, I firmly believe there. As you can see there, he's hitting 18.5 worth of AA. Didn't come off the bench once last season, only had a couple of DMPs. You can see 4 in total in the duration of the whole year. So you can see he's very much relied upon. And yeah, for 18.5 with AA, 2 goals and a clearance off the line, so he's not very decisive heavy, which is probably good considering he's still putting up some half decent scores here. Issue is obviously elephant in the room, he is 38 years old, June 30th 2025, like I said before, in his contract, so he's only got like a year left in his contract. But to be able to do this at a fresh start of a fresh new Serie B season, which is coming up in the next couple of weeks or next week, yeah, you can see all these games he's got to go yet, and at £5.30, I mean, what can go wrong? Let's say if he does not play or something, you've lost yourself by £5. But again, like I said guys, just do your own research rather than taking my word for it. Now guys, I've got here the midfielders here, and I'm going to start with Javi Ontiveros, formerly of the Villarreal B team, had run down his contract and now has been picked up by the recently relegated team of Cadiz. So for just £17, I don't think it's bad at all. Yeah, as you can see here, these are his scores whilst with the Villarreal second team. 9 goals, 5 assists. Take in mind as well, obviously Cadiz are going to be a lot more attacking minded. They're going to be one of the firm favourites to come back up to the La Liga first division, of course, and hopefully Ontiveros is going to be a part of that, of course. So again, do your research for that if he starts or not. But for these sort of scores, for playing for a very poor Villarreal team, as you can see here, it's a lot of red, some orange, couple of green every now and again, but mostly red. I thought he was the best player in that team, or one of them at least, and yeah, I think he's going to do really well at somewhere like Cadiz. So next we have Laurent Abel, still at Lorient and still staying there. They were relegated last season, and now obviously in the second tier of the French division now, and he's got a contract there. As you can see here, he signed a recent contract till June 30th 2029. I believe they love him there. He's only at £24 currently as the time recording, and if we look at his past scores here through the past year, this is all in League One, so obviously a more difficult opposition, and he's doing this in a team that obviously were relegated. So he's hitting 19.3 worth of AA, 2 goals, 1 assist, so again, not decisive heavy, which you can see of one or two ways is a good thing and a bad thing. I personally see as a good thing because he's not reliant on having to score or assist in any way, shape or form. And if we look at his all-time, you can see here again some very decent scores there all along the way, and that's all within the League One. As you can see there, if we probably get rid of a couple of his sub appearances, he's hit the lowest he's hit was 16 and 22. Apart from that, on 28 there, he's hitting 40 50s usually on the regular. And again, very much with like Ontiveros, how he's with a team who is freshly been relegated. They're pretty much firm favourites, one of the firm favourites in the second tier, the French league, to be promoted back into Ligue 1, and that obviously requires a lot of wins, a lot of dictation of play, and I feel like someone like Laurent Abel is going to be pivotal for Lorient if they were to come back up next season. Next, and the last one of the midfielder, we got Tommy Horvat of Sturm Graz in the Austrian Bundesliga, who won one of the first historic title wins last season, so they've done really well. At £26.70 as a time recording. Last sale in the last 14 days on average was about £13, so who knows, could get him slightly cheaper. But right, let's get into his scores. 7 goals, 8 assists in 29 appearances. If we get rid of maybe this, yeah, it's still the same thing. So it's 15 goal contributions when he starts, obviously, amongst those 29 games. Backs it with 9.9 worth of air, which is okay, but he is a lot more decisive heavy as opposed to someone like Abel. And only 25 years of age, he should really start hitting his peak form in the next year or so. Maybe even this year starts doing really well. Obviously, typically is peaking as 27 to 29. And yeah, I think someone like this has the capabilities of doing so. See there, he's hitting 99, he's hitting 93, hitting 87. He's hit a lot of 70s and a couple of 60s there, all within last season, within the last 29 games. So definitely, again, another solid pickup there, but just the £26 mark. But like I said, maybe wait it out. You could get him less for 25, 20, and yeah, I think it would be a solid pickup for anyone. Next, we have Jonathan dos Santos. The Uruguayan is playing in, again, the Ecuadorian league and playing for Mushak Runa. £10 or £11 a time recording, which I think is a bit of a steal for someone like this. Again, just like Quintero, doesn't have a lot of games left to play. It's like 15 games or so remaining, so do take that in mind. And he is 32, so I'm unsure of what the contract situation is. I know it's quite difficult to obtain that sort of information. So as you can see here, he's had 14 appearances, 10 starting, 4 off of the bench, and he's had 9 goals with 1 assist. But if you take away his sub appearances, this doesn't change. It's still 9 goals and 1 assist. That's 10 goal contributions in 10 starts that he has there for Jonathan dos Santos. And for £11, I don't think that's bad at all. As you can see, he's got 3 goals and assist within that game. But I think they've got some good fixtures coming up also. And like I said, all you've got to really worry about is that he is getting old, and there isn't that many games, I think, within regards to the Uruguayan, or the Ecuadorian league. But for £11, again, he's more of a short-term option. And yeah, let me know what you think. Now, everyone I show you guys, I personally think are doing, are good buys. Otherwise, I wouldn't show it to you. But I think for someone like Jonathan Nikita, he's up there with me for one of the better buys, I think, within this list. And yeah, so Jonathan Nikita playing for Zurich, which is obviously in the Swiss league. He's £13.30 as well as a time recording for his rare, and the scores he's putting up, I think, are very, very, very decent. Had a stint here, like many strikers do, where he just couldn't score couldn't get himself on the board. But 7.6 worth of AA, 43.5. If we get rid of his sub appearances, he still had 13 goal contributions within 32 games, which again I think is not absolutely amazing, but it's half decent nonetheless. He has also, as you can see there, Europa Conference League utility also, so a lot of midweek utility. Now whether or not he starts that, again, do your own research for that, but it looks like the Swiss League is either kicked off its second half of his league or it's started fresh new season. I'm unsure, but there's a lot of games still yet to go. And I believe this guy has a firm hold in this Zurich team. Didn't start from last game, unsure why, but from what the league specialists are saying is that he's got 80% chance of starting this game. Maybe they're saving him here for this Europa Conference League battle here with Shelbourne. But I think, yeah, someone like this for only £13, you can't go too wrong, I don't believe. Especially for a forward. Franco Jara of Belgrano in the Argentinian league. He does only have a contract, you can see there, till the December 31st, 2024. So he might retire in 5-6 months time, or he might go elsewhere, or maybe even extend his contract. So this guy is a short-term option, so do bear that in mind. Only £9.30 at the moment as well. And these are his scores from when he plays. So I say when he plays and if he plays, because as you can see here, he gets quite a few random DMPs. He was injured during this stint, so this wasn't just random. As you can see here, he was injured here against the Real Tamiopo, only playing about 10 minutes before he was taken off, and he's been DMP since then. And now, since the Argentinian league has just kicked off, the weekend that's just gone, he has indeed scored there and had 3 shots on target, so he's getting an abundance of shots on goal, and hopefully maybe can replicate this against, like he did against Racing Club, scoring a hat-trick not so long ago. Now again guys, like I said, he is 36 years of age. He does only have a contract left for 5-6 months, so whether or not he stays, extends, or goes elsewhere to maybe a different league, or stays even within the league, I think £9 for the short-term option that you're going to get him for essentially all these games remaining, I think is a bit of a snippet for just a striker of his sort of quality, obviously when and where he plays, for that £9.30 mark. And if you're new here guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified every time I upload.